Alrighty, well, hey everyone, welcome back. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. As some of you may know, that I didn't do a show on Friday because my wife had friends over and they were loud and well, they were loud. So it didn't make any sense to do a video with a lot of footsteps upstairs. You guys could hear everything and a lot of laughter, and so we didn't do one. But obviously the miners had a great day on Friday. Bitcoin's having a great weekend right now as it is. We have also tentative agreement with China on the trade deal. So that's good news there. That's obviously why Bitcoin's pumping and also the miners here are pumping in pre-hours as well. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at how the miners did over the past week against Bitcoin. And that's basically going to be it here. So not much going on otherwise. We are almost at the end of the month here as it is already. We got this last week to go. We'll see if we can continue to have an October here. Okay. But as always, you guys know the drill here. Not financial advice. For entertainment only, do your own research. Full disclosure below that. Hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously here. And let's take a look at what's going on here with Bitcoin right now as it is. So Bitcoin had a really nice day today. Bitcoin was up nicely today. It was up 2.58%. It closed at 114,548. We closed above the, what is this line here? It's the 50-day simple moving average. So we closed above that. We are now above both the 50 SMA and the 100 SMA on it. You can see it right here, which is this blue red line over here, which is the 100 SMA. We're above that right now as it is. So Bitcoin's up a little bit for the new day as well. We're up about 0.36% here overall. Markets also did great on Friday here. Miners, for the most part, we didn't talk about it, but obviously we had a lot of them doing pretty good here. Bitfarms was up 10%, BitDeer up 7%, Kang was up almost 1%, Cypher was up almost 20% there, Cleanspark almost 10%, CORZ was up 7%, Hive was up 17%, almost 18%, Hot was up 17%, IREN was up 12.6, Mara up 1.6, Riot 4.54, Wolf was up 6. So definitely a great Friday for us. We definitely needed it. But the miners, some of them still ended up being in the red here for the week. We'll take a look at that here in a second on this. But yeah, this is definitely, I mean, a lot of these guys are going in for HPC AI, and it's obviously pumping the stocks there, which is great for us. And I did a little research into as far as, processing power, GPUs, things like that. Over the weekend, I actually bought myself a gaming PC with a NVIDIA RTX 570 graphics card there, which is nowhere near what these guys are using. Right, this is basically consumer grade GPU. They're using commercial grade GPUs like the H100s, the B200s, and then the Blackwell's coming out, obviously. But I just wanted to see how long it would take, one, to do basic like training models for large language models, things like that. Also for AI graphics, for pictures, for videos. And man, it's, from what I have here, it takes a long time to generate that. But the demand is so huge out there. It's kind of wild, actually, how much demand there is going to be for it. I think even going forward here, and I think a lot of these companies are in the right spot for this. Well, a lot of them are for sure. IREN, obviously, Cypher, Wolf has gotten deals already because they have the megawatts available. And then those megawatts are going to be very, very, very valuable for, well, applications. Getting GPUs on those megawatts and providing AI, whether it's for just general large language models, for inference, for graphics, for video, movies. I mean, we're already seeing some commercials being made with AI as well. All of this stuff is just going to continue to grow and expand at an exponential level as well. So doing a little research on that, like I said, spent a couple $1,000 on that to get it up and running here. And I'm still playing around with it, but it's fascinating what things you can do with your own little home server there. All right. As far as the miners are here right now in the pre-hours, they are doing really good also. If we take a look at those right now, we can see that BitDeer right now is up 4.56%. Bitfarms right now is up. Let's see, where's this one ending up? 9%, 9.11% here, pre-hours. Cypher is up to, let they catch up as well. A lot of trading happening here as well on this one. 5.91%. Cleanspark is up. Let's see, it's 6%. Let's see if it stays above 6% on that one. It's staying above 6%. Let's see. A lot of trades happening on this one too. Come on. Catch up. There you go. Okay, so it's up 5.4% right now. It was up higher. CORZ is at, let's see, 3.41%. we got Hive. Might be faster if I just 4.64%. Not much trading there happening. Hut 8 is up 2. See, I might just refresh. It might be faster. 5.81% here. IREN on this one. There's going to be a bunch of trades happening on that one as well. It's up 6.1% also. Mara here. Let's see on that one. 4.61%. Riot is up 5.32%. And TeraWolf is up right now. Wow, 8.68%. So that one definitely jumped up here a little bit more here in the last half an hour or so since I updated this. So all of these guys are pumping. We'll see how tomorrow obviously plays out for us. But the main story that's happening there is, we'll get into that here in a second, I guess. The good thing is Bitcoin's up 0.75% right now for the month of October, or in Q4 basically, but it's up 0.75%, which is good. So we're back in the green here, which historically we have been in the green on October in Bitcoin. And I mean, we still have a couple more days to go. We could still pump a little bit more here, so we could be up a couple percentage points at least. Still nowhere near what we have seen in the past. October has been usually really, really good for us. Not this time around. We had a little bit of an event here that kind of stifled that growth here, I think. Bitcoin ETF inflows here, we can see that we've had 2 consecutive days now of positive inflows into Bitcoin, Thursday and Friday of last week. 90 million on Friday, small amounts, right? Not the big amounts we've seen in the past where we were close to like $1 billion in inflows, but still positive is positive nonetheless. All right, the big thing that's pushing obviously everything up right now in the pre-hours, after hours, whatever you want to call it. There's obviously the China and tariff deal happening here. So more details on the U.S.-China very successful framework. Bessent says Trump's threat of 100% tariffs on China now off the table, right? So China expected to resume substantial U.S. soybean purchases. Beijing to delay rare earth exports controls by 1 year while it re-examines the plan there. So that's great. That's helping us out definitely here, right? Negotiations covered export controls, tariff suspensions, shipping fees, fentanyl-related measures, anti-drug cooperation, and trade expansion. So bears are dead. Send it. Yeah, we'll see if how the bears handle this. But there's obviously a lot happening here this afternoon on this. So this is great news. That's pumping. And then there's President Trump and President Xi of China there shaking hands. So we'll see. I don't know if that's a recent photo from their meeting here. Maybe. But Trump seems happy. Xi seems happy. We're all happy. We're all going to be happy this week when things are pumping for us. So great. All right. Lastly here, what we're going to take a look at here is the miners, obviously, how they've done here from their 52-week lows, 52-week highs as well. And how did they do last week against Bitcoin here? I did put Bitfarms in here back into the list. I'm going to be adding some of the other miners as well, like Wolf and whoever else I have in that quarterly list. So we'll put it all back in as one again. But that just means a little bit more work for me, but not a big deal. Obviously, we can still see that IREN's up huge here from its 52-week low. It's up to 1,127% in gains here. Cypher's up 1,010%. Bitfarms in third spot there with 585% gains. Hive, 378. If you guys recall, going back just a couple months back, I would say maybe 3, 4, even maybe 5 months, we would see Bitfarms and Hive being down here towards the very, very end of the list when it comes to the gains here. But now they're definitely squeaking up here, which is kind of nice to see that. Riot up 246%, BitTier up 239%, Core up 211%, Cleanspark 200%, Marathon 99%, Kango 91%, Bitcoin only 66% up from its 52-week lows, and Strategy underperforming here, only up 30% on that one. And you can see how far away each one of these guys is from their 52-week highs. Cypher being the closest, actually Core probably the closest, at 5% away. Cypher pretty close to that as well, 6.1% there. For last week was a tough week for us, right? We saw definitely a lot of outflows happening in miners and Bitcoin in general as well. And I track them from Friday to Friday for all these things, just so you know. Cypher was up 10% still, nonetheless. Hive was up 6%. Bitcoin was up 4%. IREN was up 4%. Kango was up 2%. Core was up 2%. Marathon and Strategy were basically flat. Cleanspark was down just 1%. BitTier was down 3%. And Bitfarms was down 8%. Last week. So, but the things changed definitely from 4 weeks ago. We can see Bitcoin's being down 9% here. Kango be down 11%. Strategy being down 18%. Bitfarms is up 53% from there. BitTier up 20%. Cleanspark 21%. IREN 25%. Hive 36%. And Cypher 41% there. So a lot of these guys have outperformed Bitcoin here. Looking at the 8 weeks, things definitely look much different here. Bitcoin Bitfarms 257%, right? From 8 weeks ago, this thing has had a really, really nice run here. Next one up would be Cypher, 175%, followed by IREN, 141%. Then we got Hive, 127%, followed by Cleanspark, 110%, BitDeer, 88%. And then we got Core, 42%, Marathon, 29%, and Kango being down 16%, and Strategy still being down 14% from that. On the 12 weeks time frame, now we can see that Cypher has outperformed here. Bitfarms, 335% gains, followed by Bitfarms at 272%, then IREN, 241%. Then we got Hive, 191%. Bitcoin's down 5%, Kango's down 15%, Strategy's down 27%. And then we got Cleanspark up 92%, BitDeer 85%, Core 34%, and Marathon 27%. So definitely like seeing that, and definitely like seeing obviously more of the green here than we do on the red side of things. Last week was an anomaly, I would say. Right, the tariff threat from President Trump on China had a big impact, obviously, on the markets, Bitcoin miners as well, obviously. But we were, well, I shouldn't say not all of us. Some of us were patient. Some of us held on. Others obviously sold out and maybe at higher prices, and were able to get in lower prices at that point as well. So there's many ways to play this. There's no wrong answer here as long as you end up at the end of the day with gains here. So we are looking to be much better off, I think, in this coming week, unless we get a tweet from President Trump about something. Okay, but right now things are looking really good for us. And that's all I got for you guys. Like I said, this, let me see, who do we have? We got, I think, Riot reporting the 30th, their Q3 results. And then we have other companies following suit as well after that in November. We'll obviously cover all that. And then we'll get into, obviously, as well, the monthly production update for the miners as well, see how they're doing. Big things I'm looking forward to, obviously, is going to be like IREN, Cypher, Bitfarms, quarterly results, along with Cleansparks, to see how they are progressing on their HPC AI stuff. Same thing with like TeraWolf and all the rest of the guys there. But just guidance, looking forward to guidance as far as what is their plans going forward, where are they going to be growing to, things like that. And that's going to be happening here in the next 1, 2, and 3 weeks. We'll get probably all that stuff reported at that point. All right, so that's it. Let's get into Q&A here, and we'll call it a day. Let's see. Where do I want to go? I want to go here. Also, as you guys can see, the chart for Bitcoin is down. I had to restart the computer there. That's why it's down for me. And I need to redo that, so I will do that later on probably. All right, questions as always. If you guys could preface those with a question mark or a Q, I would appreciate it. And we're going to work our way from the top all the way down, and I will get through all the questions here and comments as well. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, we'll start here. We'll start with John. John says, "Hey Seb, hope you're good. Last week was the most dramatic week I've had through the years holding Bitcoin miners. She's very happy with the $52 buy-in in IREN. Yes, awesome. Kaz says, looks like a green October. Yeah, it looks like it, at least right now. We have a couple more days. We'll see if we end up on it, but it looks like that way for sure right now, at least. John Kurtz, October 25th, Insider Monkey highlighted all top miners in an awesome article, big time worldwide exposure. Oh, interesting. Well, that's good. Fred, hello, Seb. A while that I caught you live. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Dan says, especially what's up, Seb? Let's get this October ramp or pamp. Yep, I got it. Hold on. My throat's starting to dry out already. Dan also says, great point. These are volatile games. We play sure you can calculate when your best odds are, but it still takes guts to buy, sell these miners. Yep. These are probably, for me at least, these are like the most volatile things I've ever been involved in. And, well, Bitcoin in general, right? Bitcoin's been extremely volatile, but these guys are on another level altogether. John, Sour, it's not easy having balls of steel. Clicking the mouse on a miner buy takes nerves many don't have. That is true. Crazy to think there's families out there struggling, and all of us degenerates are just sitting back doing nothing and making boatloads of money. Life is crazy. Yeah, but everybody has the same opportunities, I think, right? As long as you're born in the United States, you have ample opportunity to become, wealthy beyond your means. It's just, it all depends on an individual, right? Are they motivated? Are they not? Are they always looking to Learn more. You know, that's all based on the individual. Everybody has the same potential here. It's just whether or not you use that potential or not. So that's my take on that one. Escape. Cypher seems to plan for junk bond like Wolf. Do you think Cypher stock will pull back a lot due to that? If they do, I mean, they already did one. If they do another one, yeah, Cypher is going to pull back a little bit, and it'll probably go back up depending on what they're going to be using it for, right? Obviously, I'm thinking they're going to be using it for HPCI business, which would be fine. Ryan, how you doing? What's up, folks? Dragos, IREN and Cypher, Army checking in. Awesome. Thanks for coming in. Kevin, nice to cut the start of this stream. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Surendra, what would have been Hive's share value if all its mining centers are in the U.S.? Also, I expect Hive would mine 285 BTC for October. Well, I think they would get a little bit more of a premium on that, I think, or at least a better valuation on it. Now, I don't think they have to be like completely in the United States. If they had just a couple sites in the United States, I think that would help out. Similar to what we've seen, obviously, with Bitfarms here, right? Bitfarms was largely outside the United States for the most part until they actually acquired Stronghold, right? They only had the one site in Washington there. And you can see what impact that has had on them as well. So, yeah, I would think it would be valued more from where they are. Even so, right now. The machine. Happy Sunday, Sebastian. Tomorrow, all miners are going to crush. Yeah, well, hopefully to the green side, not to the red side there. Guy, what price do you think will be a good point to start trimming for Cleanspark 25? I mean, that's going to be up to you to decide there, right? I'm looking forward to hearing their guidance on their investor presentation for the quarterly results to see where they are. They hired a pretty good veteran there also for this senior vice president of AI data centers, right? That guy. So they are working towards that goal there of whether it's going to become a neo cloud or get customers or whatever they're going to do. We don't know for certain yet, but they're working towards that. And they, like I've said before, right? Cleanspark came in out of nowhere basically and coming in, well, they were late to the party for Bitcoin. They came out to be like the top, within the top 3 Bitcoin miners here, right? As far as size, even becoming maybe the first one to be at 50 exahash solely, completely owned infrastructure and all that stuff, right? So they did that within 4 years. If they set their mind to it, I think they can still do very, very well with HPCI business as well. Because we've seen them execute with Bitcoin mining. I'm pretty sure they can take that knowledge and put it into HPCI as well. So is 25 going to be the top here? I don't know. But you can maybe start trimming a little bit around there, maybe 30, somewhere around there, right? But I think we may have a little bit more runway to go than that. All right, AIT or AT, Bitfarms big week. Let's effing go. AIT Bitfarm Army stand up. I am standing up right now as it is. DFly BMNR should do well tomorrow. Yeah, it should kind of have a little bit of a spike there. Mark, demand is high because what AI is doing is mind-blowing. Yeah, it is completely mind-blowing what it can do. So just to give you guys an example, right, with the little home gaming PC that I have with the RTX 570 card, it takes me about 24, depending on the size. I did a comparison for like Grok's Imagine and Google's Banana thing. It takes my card like somewhere between 24 seconds to like almost a minute to generate an image, right? Grok is able to generate images basically within, I mean, like a second or two. That's a lot of computing power in order to do that. And they're also generating like 4 of those images in a row, 4 to 8 images. So that's like insane amount of power that they have at their sites available to them, right? Obviously, Grok and XAI they're building out a data center in Memphis. They're trying to get to 1 gigawatt of power, and they already have, I think, 100 or 200,000 GPUs already. But I mean, you think about it, as you get more and more people using it, you're going to need a heck of a lot more than that. So yeah, it is completely mind-blowing. All right, LB, let's see. Hi, Sebastian. Question, do you think possible for Hive to reach $20 in BitD or 100 sometime down the road? That would depend greatly on their HPCI businesses, I think, right? So if they do grow those nicely, I would think, those are doable numbers. I think those are doable numbers. We don't know whether it's going to be next year or in 2 years, whatever that might be on that one. All right. Kevin Chow, Bitfarms Army. Nice to... I mean, we had a lot of haters for Bitfarms not too long ago, but it's nice to see that they have an army now. Obviously, the stock has been going up nicely, and Ben and company there have been doing a really good job. Let's see here. What price? What price for who? BM&R tomorrow? Oh, geez, I don't know what they're going to be priced tomorrow. I mean, where are they at right now? Let's see here. BM&R is at $50. I mean, we can take a look at the chart here. I'm not sure it's going to pump that much. I mean, look at this. This thing has been going sideways for a long time after having that huge initial pump, right? On the news that Tom Lee was joining the board there, or becoming the executive chairman. And then after that, it has definitely not done as well. I mean, we are going up slightly. I mean, you can see a little bit of an incline here on the price over time, but it's still up and down, up and down. Yeah, I don't know. I hope it does well for you. Wow, I really have a tickle in my throat. I don't know what's going on there. Been feeling a little under the weather, not too badly though. It's just like, my throat's kind of raspy a little bit. Not sure. Hopefully I'm not catching anything here. Let's see what else we got here. The machine says Bitfarms next step is $10. Possibly, within the next 6 to 9 months or so, I would say. Maybe even faster, who knows. Dan, what price are you going to start trimming Cleanspark? Or what price am I going to start trimming Cleanspark? I haven't trimmed anything yet, right? And IREN's gone to 70 some odd dollars. I haven't trimmed anything there. So I'm still willing to hold on for a little bit longer here. Maybe foolishly. But I just see the demand is so great out there for megawatts, power, and the things that AI is going to do for us is just outstanding. So that's the reason why I'm holding on still, to be honest with you guys. If it wasn't for AI and things like that, I probably would have been out of the miners here a long time ago. Well, probably not. I would have been hoping that Bitcoin gets to 150 to 200,000 or something like that and then sell the miners. But now that they're getting re-rated on 8 megawatts per AI, it might be a longer term play here. All right. Let's see. Drago says, LB, hope so because IREN will be 200. Oh, man, if IREN got to $200, that would be sweet. That would be, at that point, I would have probably close to 1.5 million in profits, roughly. Maybe more than that. Somewhere around there. All right. Hi, Seb. We're big gapping in the morning, right? Gapping up or gapping down. Bitcoin right now, I don't see that there's, let me see if there's a CME futures gap here on Bitcoin really quick. I haven't checked yet on that one. Now we do have a gap on it. So we'll see if we gap down on it. Let's see. You guys can see it here. There we do have a gap here to right about there. So 112,000 to 113,000. I mean, we could gap down here on it because this is, yeah. So we could get them down a little bit and then go back up. Maybe. Does not have to be filled, but they do like to get filled. All right, talked about that. Rob says, let's go Bitfarms, Blue Jays, DeFi. How have your views changed from IREN from BTC to HPC play, assuming this will be a longer term hold now? Based on that, well, I was thinking two things. And man, my throat's starting to get really raspy. One, I was thinking that Bitcoin's going to go into an extended cycle. So at that point, I was thinking maybe the miners might be a little bit of a longer term play, maybe. But now with obviously the narrative around AI and them getting re-rated for the megawatts that they do have here, I do think obviously some of these guys like IREN, Cypher, Wolf obviously as well. Then you got Bitfarms getting into it, Cleanspark, Hut 8, Hive as well. BitDeer, all those guys here could be a longer term hold if they can monetize those megawatts, right, for AI. So that's kind of how my views have changed on that. Let's see. Drago says, dumping my Cleanspark tomorrow to free up some cash. Okay. Ryan, question, which miners will do the best tomorrow? AI heavy companies or HODL heavy companies? Ooh, good question. I mean, right now it seems like we got Cleanspark. I think the ones that are going into AI more so than the ones that have a huge HODL position there, to be honest. And how long till IREN's HPCI cloud annual run rate replaces Bitcoin's annual run rate, their current growth rate? Well, they're at 500 million run rate right now for next year, right? Based on them getting to 23,000 GPUs. If they can get that double to like 40-some thousand GPUs or even 60,000 GPUs, then at that point they should have an ARR better than the Bitcoin generation right now, based on that. So they got to be between 45 and 60,000 GPUs, I think. All right. So that says, Sebastian, I'm a fool to sell Cleanspark at 1640, bought at 20.2, 6,000. Oh, that's the hard part, right? You just never know on these things. And that's why I keep harping on, you got to know what you own, really. And have the conviction there to hold on to it through the dips and everything else. But yeah, I mean, you're not the only one that has done that. The others have done it also with IREN, right? They sold it at $20 some odd only for it to run up to $60, $70. So you're not going to be able to time it perfectly. And yeah, it's just one of those things. Then that's kind of why I don't trade. I would have had more, like I said many times, I would have had more Bitcoin if it wasn't for that. So you kind of learn those mistakes as you go. Apex Drift. Would it make sense to rotate something like IREN, which has run hard, into Mara, which is building a base? Oh, well, that's going to depend on obviously how Mara does going forward, right? We don't know how they're going to do. How are they going to get into AI and all that stuff? Could they run? Yes. Do I think that there's better run companies out there than Mara? Yes, I do. So, all right, Mara's previous execution has not been great. But we'll see if they can fix that going forward there. Okay. As Hex question, is Hive still being heavily shorted? Are the shorters regretting their decision, you think? Well, they're being shorted, but not as heavily as some of the other miners have been. It's still pretty low compared to the others, actually, when it comes to those types of things. Are the shorters regretting it? Well, I think there's also a part of it that plays into it with the convertible notes, right? They're hedging their bets. Some of these companies as well. So I don't know. Miners 2025 Bitfarms price this year. Well, I think you can probably get to somewhere between $6 and $10 by the end of the year. Excuse me. Let's see. Rob says, because Amazon had those issues with their data centers last week, one would think they would want to fix their situation. Would that mean acquire Bitfarms? Well, that wouldn't really fix their situation here in the short term. I mean, if you had an outage, you had an outage. What was the reason for the outage, though? Right? Was it just was it a power outage? Was it an actual software issue, or was it a networking issue? What was the issue, right? I mean, they've had historically a spectacular record as far as having uptime, right? 99.999% of the time uptime. So that's hard to beat. And you wouldn't fix that quickly here by acquiring Bitfarms. Yes, Bitfarms has some power, but a lot of the power is still in the development stages, and also in trying to get that approval from PJM, right? The regulatory there. So it's still going to take a little time there. All right, Aiden, question, is there a Bitcoin and ETH CME gap this weekend? There is a Bitcoin one. We showed you that. Ethereum, I don't track the Ethereum CME futures, so I'm not sure on that one. All right, Hustler80, what's your take on Bitfarms? Is this a good buying opportunity? Well, the dip last week was a good buying opportunity. I think it's still pretty low. I think it still should be up higher from where it's at right now. As far as how much higher, I think a couple more bucks higher from where it is. But if they announce something good for AI, right, business or something like that, then the stock can go up even higher at that point. All right. Ad2K, what is your thoughts on CORZ and the recent earnings last Friday? Oh, I didn't even see that. This past Friday, or is it coming up this Friday that they're doing it? Let me see here. CORZ. Earnings. Oh, okay, yep. So they reported earnings was negative 46 cents. Estimated was 7 cents. Surprised to the downside. Reported 81.1 million in revenue. Estimated, so they're still not getting a lot of the revenue from the CoreWeave deal there. They're supposed to get that more of that revenue happening here in the fourth quarter, I believe. So not too surprised by that. I had them at, let me see if I can pull them up really quick. CORZ Scientific, just for the Bitcoin mining here. For the quarter here, I had them at, where was it at? 57 million. So 57 million, and they reported 81. So you're looking at roughly 24 million from HPC business. Yeah, that's not much on that one. But we'll see if that vote goes through this week, right? I think it's the 30th they're voting on that, whether or not the company should get bought out by CoreWeave there. So we'll see on that one. All right. Adam, wondering why Cypher was up 20% Friday. Did I miss something? Well, there was quite a few of those guys up nicely. There was something, wasn't there? I'm trying to think what it was. Somebody got a deal or something like that. I can't remember. There was something. Somebody remind me what that was on Friday right now. Angie, getting ready for BTC resistance at 116 profits. Very nice. Trade Wiki, smash the likes for continues Sebastian Alpha on most nights. I appreciate that. Thank you. Apex Drift, thoughts on ASD, huge short squeeze BTC Treasury Company, 40% already pre-market. ASD is up that much? Nice. I don't have any thoughts on them, to be honest with you. Adam F, what is recommended add to my portfolio tomorrow? That's completely up to you. Which ones you think are still undervalued, right? Buy into those. Bob says BTC is at 115,000. This is going to help us out. Yes, it is. Rob says Hive and Bitfarms, Amanda F. Those are good. Cleanspark is another one I think that's still way under from where it should be. Let's see. I have 10,000 USD in Cleanspark. How should I diversify among 3 other miners? If you have 10,000 in Cleanspark, I would possibly just leave it in there. Not financial advice, right? That's and try to buy the other ones with some extra cash that you have maybe at that point. Because if you're in profit, hopefully you're in profit in Cleanspark right now, but you're going to have to end up paying that to Uncle Sam next year. So you always want to prepare for that as well. So just hold on to that and try to buy some more with cash, or if you have to go out and hustle a little bit, make some extra money to do that, maybe you may have to do that. Gary, are more on Cleanspark only miners who still haven't broken 2024 high, or are there others? Good question there. I'm not sure. 52-week highs as far as who's broken those. Let me see here. Bitfarms obviously passed that up. BitDeer, let's see, going back to January, May, April. How far back do I have to go? Back here, January 25, December. All right. So BitDeer has surpassed it. Let's go to the browser here. Probably help if you guys can see it. BitDeer has surpassed that, right? Recently, at least, in the last couple of days. Kang, I'm not even going to worry about that one because they haven't been a Bitcoin miner for over a year. Cypher, obviously, blew past their 52-week. Cleanspark, same thing. All right, so we're going back to November, October. Yeah, right there. So they passed that up in the last 52 weeks. CORZ has gone above that. Hive has gone above it. 8 has absolutely gone above it. IREN, heck yeah. Mara is the only one that still hasn't surpassed their 52-week high here. Riot surpassed it. Wolf has surpassed it. Yeah, so Mara's the only one that hasn't done that right now. Okay, did that one? Let's see. D. Royce. It looks like Lumen may be a good addition to these miner positions. They move the power through optics. Oh, interesting. We have to look at that one. Let's see. Cyrus says Mara is trash. Don't buy it. I agree. Mara is trash. Scam company. Fred gets rich. Investors get wrecked. I've complained about that for a while here. Not only on them, but others as well. SH, an unusual move. DOE proposes rule to expand FERC's authority over large loads. This going to expedite Bitfarms' energy portfolio to expand and easier access to more power. That I saw that also. Yeah, so that would be a good thing, right? We need to clear some regulatory tape to get that stuff done here. SH says 5% investment in Cypher and Bitfarms by Jane Street Group yet. That's right. That's what it was. But we covered that on Thursday's stream, right? So it happened Thursday, I believe. And then, they were off to the races on Friday. Rob, does Hive have a small float? And same with Bitfarms. As far as, no, their float is pretty big. Bitfarms has about 500 million shares outstanding. Float is like 400 some odd million, right? So they got plenty. Hive's got a smaller float. Hive has what 160, 180 million shares outstanding, right? And their float is around 100 something. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, they don't have a very small float there. All right. So you got a couple more coming in here. Mara will run for sure. It will 4x. I think it will run, right? I just don't know when it will run. But yeah, it will run once they start announcing something about AI. I mean, they're taking a stake in one company that builds data centers and has data centers in Europe, I believe. Let's see. Bevney says, y'all said same about Bitfarms. Sour sit down. Well, when they were down, yeah, a lot of people were complaining about them, right? I still had some faith in them to execute it. And I said at that point, I said, look, Ben's only been in the business or in the position there for less than a year at that point. I'm like, give the guy some time to, turn the ship around. Perfectus says, Mara lagging like a mofo. It is. It's completely lagging. It's not... well, it's late. Well, there's issues, right? We know that there's issues. I'm not going to get into those issues again with Mara. But eventually they can turn that around as well, I think. All right. Baby Mara, Clean, and Bit Digital will all run together. Or Bit Digital Bit Digital, you think it's going to run on Ethereum because Ethereum's going to go up? That might be it. I don't know how much it's going to run, though, on that alone. Rob, with regards to IREN, did anyone here know what Google was going to do with the deal to do that deal with them? Well, they did it, what it was, I think it was going to be for FluidStack, right? I think that's what it was. But that's, yeah, that's all, anything I can think of. All right, guys says, never sold Bitfarms, still holding. Oh, geez. You're up nicely then, my friend. Congrats there. You definitely got me beat on number of shares. I think I only have like 11,000 shares of Bitfarms right now as it is. So you got me way beat on that. All right, more Tim. CPI lit the fuse on Friday. Tomorrow it's China rare earths for IREN accelerated earnings date as well. That's right. That was the other thing. CPI data came in good, right? It was estimated to be 3.1%, came in at 3%. So that was a good thing. That helped the markets obviously up as well. Yep, so that happened on Friday there. So that was good. All right, Essay says, feeling a surprise on Bitfarms CC in 2 weeks, maybe a contract announcement. Oh, well, that would be good, right? You're talking about the conference call in there in 2 weeks. That would be great. I'm not expecting that to happen, though. But, yeah, I'd love to see that. All right, let's see here. BlackRock bought 25 million shares of Bit Digital. When did they buy those? I have to look back. I know that there's some, obviously, institutions that have bought into. Oh, geez, excuse me. Oh, sorry for the yawn. No, that just came out of nowhere. BlackRock and others have been buying into the miners for a while here. So, but if they bought in recently, then yeah, that's going to definitely help the stock here. Bit Digital will easily 3x from here. Again, is it because of they own a large stake in white fiber, or is it because of Ethereum price going up? What are your thoughts on that one? All right, let's see what else we got here. If we don't have anything else, we're going to call it a day. Get some rest for another long week ahead of us. Hopefully it's going to be a better week than we had last week. Let's see here. What else? Okay. Becky says recently. Okay, so that is a good sign if they bought into it. So maybe they see something that I don't see there. Or maybe they're just, diversifying their positions into all of these guys because you just never know which one's going to run. Who knows? But like I said before, I'm not a big fan of these companies that are just treasure companies for Bitcoin, Ethereum, or others. I love the fact that they're buying up all the coins there, but I'm not a big fan of those. Morton says, Tom Lee's last interview extended cycle, Bitcoin still has a 40% pullback next year. 40% would be on the high side, I think. We've seen obviously 33% here in the last 2 years, right? We pulled back there. I don't know if we'll get a 40% pullback. I think that's just my take on it. Could be wrong. Sadie, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Bevneet, once miners start running, people will look into cheap to run up. But again, Bit Digital doesn't have really any power or Bitcoin mining anymore, right? They're just a treasury company for Ethereum. So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know how that one's going to go up. DMG will also run to $1.50, to $1.50 to $2. I could see that, right? They're obviously a small company there. What are they at now, or even? Let's see, your DMG is at 37 cents. Yeah, I mean, we could definitely see that happening as well, potentially, from them. Let's see. Rob says, crypto advisor YouTuber said BTC is on its 4-year cycle and will pull back again and crash. Any truth to that? I mean, historically, that's what has happened, right? But eventually, maybe this is the cycle that we just get an extended cycle where we just continue to go up, you know. But, well, I mean, you can see it already this past year, right? How much has Bitcoin gone up in the year? 18, 20%, whatever it's been this year, or maybe even more than that, just a little bit. It hasn't done anything near the gains that we've seen in the past. So that's one reason that I think we might be in an extended cycle. Bitcoin also having these extended drawdowns where it goes down 30% over a number of months instead of days like we had in prior cycles where, you know, Bitcoin would have a 30% drawdown within 2-3 days and be back up to a new all-time high. We're not seeing that here right now. And then you got all the adoption happening as well with institutions and everything else. That's why I'm thinking we might be an extended cycle here. You know, I would probably weigh that at about 80 to 85, maybe 90% chance that we're in a extended cycle here, and 10% that we have a repeat of the prior cycles. But I could be wrong on that too. All right. Gary says Bitcoin never had a bull run this year, but people still expect them to crash. Now, that's another point, right? Yeah, I mean, we're only up whatever the percentage, small amount. Definitely not a bull run. So a different cycle altogether, as it is. See, Rob says crypto advisor needs to sit on it, like how the Fonz said. Fonzie, going back to happy days. I remember that. SH, do you think Soluna can deliver on the 2.8 gigawatts, and where did see the price at? I mean, she's 2.8. That's stuff. That's a lot of megawatts, right? It's in a pipeline. So big thing is, do they have the cash to be able to do it? I think with the stock, you know, going up for them when they're being valued around, what is it now, 200, 300 some odd $1 million, does help that they can maybe get some cash one way or another. But you're talking about when you get deals like that, a lot of times you have to put down deposits of like tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars to get those megawatts. So I don't know if they have that firepower right now to do it. All right, let's see here. Why is it hard to buy DMG and CAN on some exchanges? Is it because they are not US based? Yes, I believe that's the case on some of these guys here. So yeah, some of these you guys will not be able to get on depending on the exchange that you're on. All right. Morton says maybe that 40% pullback is after BTC 200 to 250,000. Seems like Lee thinks that. Well, but why would we pull back though? I mean, you're gonna have people selling at different price points throughout the rise of Bitcoin price, right? And then, I mean, unless the economy goes to crap or something like that in next year sometime, maybe. I don't think that's gonna be the case, but that would be the only reason I would think it would pull back down that much without having a catalyst. All right. Rob, is it worth to invest in CAN, risking the Bitfarms or Hive? I mean, CAN is a small, they're a small miner, right? But they also have quite a bit of hosting services as well. And, well, I mean, they could possibly transition those hosting services into AI customers or AI centers possibly. So they do have that. They also make their own ASIC machines. And so they have that as well. Yeah, I don't know. You know, we'll have to see how they do going forward. I don't know if it's any riskier right now than the rest. All right. Mortem, he's also predicting a 20% pullback in the S&P and thinks Bitcoin would be double that. 20%? Okay, well, then yeah, if we have a pullback. But if we're firing all cylinders and the economy is doing good, inflation's under control, AI is doing its thing, you know, a lot of investment still happening in that space, I think we'll be okay. But you never know, right? We could go down that much. But that would definitely be a substantial... and that's the other thing. Next year, I don't know. I mean, you got the Republican Party that's going to be going for the midterms again. They're gonna want the economy to be doing well. I don't know if we're gonna get a 20%. We'll see. All right, let's see. SH says Can just announced 270 million ATM after Friday closing. Okay. Yeah, so they're going to be pulling on that. Obviously, where's the stock now for them? Let me see here. Can and or there they are. $1.89. Well, I mean, they were up on Friday, but we'll see where they are after hours right now. Let's see. What is their market cap right now for Canon? Let's see here really quick. Overview. They are at 886 million, so yeah, 207 million. That's basically a quarter of their market cap as it is right now. Okay. All right, what else we got here? Rob, also, I like Kathy Wood's prediction on BTC price. Prediction recently, what did she say on that one? Rob, 270 million. What for, Ken? Yeah, what are they going to be using that for, right? So corporate general purposes and things like that, probably, yeah. All right, let me see here. I think I've caught up to all you guys' questions. We got Gary coming in here. We'll do a couple more and we'll call it a night. Gary says, seems some Bitcoin mining going into AI HPC trade. Yeah, you could also see that. You could also see some gold coming out of that as well. Sarah asks, can you see IREN 200 plus? I mean, well, if you do the math on the megawatts that they have available to them and use that number, then yeah, they could possibly be even more than $200 potentially, right? But just a matter of how soon can they build that stuff out, and you know, how little can they dilute the shares, I guess you could say. So yeah, like we could possibly see them in the next 2 years, 2 to 3 years possibly, right? If they do great. Yours says 200 plus is a little high for tomorrow. Yeah, for tomorrow, yeah. In a year to 2 years, something like that, we could definitely possibly be there on that one. All right, everyone. We're gonna call it a night. The throat's starting to scratch more, so we'll call it a day here. We'll see what tomorrow brings us. Tomorrow's another day. Market's gonna be open. Obviously, we'll see how the miners do, how Bitcoin does. We'll see what other news we get. We got the Fed rate cuts coming later on this week. We have the quantitative tightening for the Fed also ending tomorrow, I think it is. So they're going to be pumping money. And what else do we have happening here? Obviously, the trade deal with China, if that gets through and signed off on by Trump and Xi, that's going to be great. So we have a lot of catalysts that are going to be pumping our bags this week, hopefully. All right. Let's see here. We got a couple more here. All right. SHS, why Jim Chancellor was very negative on IREN. I don't know. I didn't hear that. Gary and I are some big IREN bulls. Yes, you guys are. So am I. Per says, should I sell my Bitcoin and buy miners? I have Bitcoin too. Obviously, the miners have outperformed Bitcoin here this past year tremendously here. I would say hold on to it. Depending on how much you have, obviously, you can probably sell a portion of it if you wanted to. But I'm holding on to Bitfarms onto Bitcoin as a retirement account, basically. Yeah, that's kind of basically what I'm going to be using that for. Eventually, we'll get to 1 million. Don't know when it's going to be, whether it's going to be the next 5, 10 years, or 15 years. So eventually, we'll get there, and that's going to be added onto my retirement at that point. So I'm just holding on to it for that period. All right. God says I'm happy with IREN at $100. I would be too. I'd like to get it to about 140 or something like that. That'd be great. That'd be a nice round number for me at that point. All right, that's it. Love you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night, and we'll obviously talk about everything else that happens. So thank you so much for coming in, as always. Wish you guys a great night.